today we have Karan Chauhan, the comedy magician of India, or I would say the most sought after comedy magician of India.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
और इनकी और एक तारीफ बताऊं तो I know him since before he could grow a beard.
Yeah,
तो मैं इतने
absolutely.
सालों से इनको जानता हूँ. So Karan used to first do, I think kids, I'll call it kids magic.
I used to, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Birthday party magic.
Birthday party, yeah.
Then you did bird magic, dove magic, skill magic. और धीरे you came towards comedy. So firstly tell us what got you into magic.
I think I have the most classic story of all that most of the people have. I was an introvert and magic was like, अरे मैं लोगों से बात नहीं कर सकता, तो अब इसकी वजह से लोग मेरे से बात करेंगे. So it was that for me initially. But then I sort of fell in love with the art form. I loved the reactions that people gave initially, and that's what got me into it. Started with it.
So if not a magician, क्या बनते आप?
I wanted to go into the army.
Okay.
आर्मी में जाना चाहता था मैं, और आई डिडंट हैव द कॉन्शियस रियलाइजेशन ऑफ माय साइज एट दैट टाइम. और मैं पीटी में कैसा गंदा परफॉर्म करता था स्कूल में, आई डिडंट नो कॉन्शियसली उस टाइम पे. तो आई वांटेड टू गो इन द आर्मी.
ओह
या
सो ये आर्मी से आप मैजिक पे कैसे आ गए? मतलब अगेन इज इट जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर इंट्रोवर्ट? डिड यू सी सम मैजिशियन? डिड यू गेट इंस्पायर्ड बाय मैजिशियन? डिड यू आपने कोई टीवी शो देखा? हाउ डिड यू डिसाइडेड कि लेट्स ट्राई दिस?
आई सॉ डेविड ब्लेन ऑन टेलीविजन. AXN पे उसका जो व्हाट इज मैजिक करके एक स्पेशल आया था
1998.
हाँ, बट तब मैं आई थिंक दे वर टेलीकास्टिंग इट अगेन.
रीटेलीकास्ट.
एंड देन आई सॉ दैट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम एंड आई सॉ दैट रॉ फॉर्म ऑफ मैजिक. वो ऐसा मैंने कुछ देखा नहीं था पहले. फॉर मी ऑल्सो बिफोर दैट मैजिक वाज वो स्टेज पे करने का, बड़े बड़े ऐसा फेदर्स वाले चीजें पहन के, कटिंग पीपल इन हाफ एंड ऑल. सो दैट डे फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम आई सॉ समबडी जस्ट वॉकिंग अराउंड इन अ टी-शर्ट एंड ट्रैक्स, और ऐसा जाके कॉइन लेके ऐसा तोड़ के मतलब थूक रहा है, और मतलब इट वाज ब्रिलियंट डूड.
करेक्ट.
एंड आई वाज लाइक यस, इस तरह का मैजिक इज अमेजिंग, एंड दैट्स व्हाट गॉट मी स्टार्टेड, लाइक अट्रैक्टेड टू दिस इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस.
If I'm not wrong, you have won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Lot of awards?
No.
कितने awards in magic
3,
competitions?
I think 3.
3.
I lost 7 competitions, and then
You don't have to be so honest.
why? But why?
Okay. So 10 में से 3 में आपको अवार्ड मिला as the best magician. Close up?
There is 1 for close up, and I think 2. No, there's 2 for close up and 1 for the stage.
So what do you think about these awards? Do they make a difference in your life as a magician, professionally?
They make you feel nice.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a good moral boost for anybody who is starting off, to have seniors say that no, you're good, तू कमा लेगा इसमें भी, हो जाएगा तेरे से. But it is a nice thing to have. It looks nice on the shelf. So the 2 awards out of the 3 is the Medal of Merlin. So that is something that when you put in the intro and they are introducing, the word USA changes everything. Literally. So we had this one event where it was a hoity-toity event, ऐसा मतलब full classy public, and it was in June Estella. So very few people and very private event, and I was supposed to perform, and the whole intro वो कर दिया एंकर ने. Nobody batted an eye. Everybody, सब लोग अपने में लगे, and the moment she said Medal of Merlin from USA, and everybody dropped the forks and then oh really? So yeah man, I mean that one thing it has helped with.
So the stamp. USA has said
that award is
you get an award.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So American award is better than
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why.
Okay. So how did you come from performing मतलब birds and big illusions or I would say boxes, prop magic से आप ये comedy magic या propless magic, I would say very few props, कैसे आए और क्यों आए? What made you think कि यार वो नहीं, ये करना चाहिए?
I still love dove magic. Like I don't perform it, but I love to watch it. ऐसा मैं टाइम पास में देखता हूँ आज भी लैंस बर्टन के पुराने वीडियोस. और लगता है कि ये मैं कभी नहीं कर सकता. बट आई डिड इट बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड आई लव्ड इट. लैंस बर्टन को जब देखा डव मैजिक करते हुए, दैट वाज लाइक आई वांटेड टू डू डव मैजिक लाइक हिम एग्जैक्टली. व्हाट द स्टाइल एंड शक्ल उसका ज्यादा अच्छा है मेरे से. दैट आई फॉरगॉट कंप्लीटली.
ही इज अमेरिकन.
ही इज फ्रॉम यूएसए आल्सो. बताओ. But yeah man, so I realized after a very long time that this is not working for me. I mean I love doing it, I can do it properly, but it doesn't look nice on me. The whole tailcoat and this is just not for me. And then I have even tried my hand at mentalism.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say it, but there is a certain set of DVDs converted from a book. So I got those and I watched those in
The
one
13.
day. The 13.
Okay.
And in one day I saw all of them. I think I got saturated. After 13 DVDs, I was like, mentalism कितना boring है यार. मेरे को नहीं करना है ये.
So now you're not into mentalism.
No, so I do it, but now I think I've found a way to make it funny. If you remove the funny from my mentalism, no, I will not do it then.
Okay.
I have to be funny.
So your core is comedy before magic.
Yes.
So how did you? So there's a question. If I first ask you कि what is the natural response of the audience for magic? क्या लगता है? क्या है आपके हिसाब से? What is a? So when you perform something, it is amazing. People see it. How do they react? Usually, what should be the natural response? I would say. As in comedy के लिए people laugh.
Yeah.
Right. If they see something impossible, as in a physical feat, जैसे gymnastics, people clap. What do you think is a magic response to a good magic effect?
I think there should be two responses. The first is the general one, whoa, that we hear from a collective, oh my god kind of feeling. Or the other one can be like just a gasp from the audience. Silence, like gasp, like just that much.
Correct.
So I think both of those have their own impact.
So follow-up question to this. Comedy makes people laugh.
Right.
So everything that you do now has a comedy in it, right? With magic you have comedy.
Yeah.
So the response you'll be getting mostly is laughter.
Yes.
How do you balance the laughter with the awe or with the gasp or with the silence? How do you make sure that कि comedy के साथ साथ ये भी हो रहा है कि they are actually awestruck कि यार ये क्या हो गया? Because I think a lot of times comedy will release the tension, will release the entire element of surprise. कि ये होने वाला था and they already know कि funny हो गया.
Absolutely.
So how do you do that? How do you balance, or how do you make sure, or is it that you don't care much about what the reaction is, but you care that they laughed and they had a good time? What is your outlook?
No, I tried for the balance thing a lot, and I have not been successful all the time. So basically what I try to do usually is that I initially started with individual tricks to create a balance. I realized that certain tricks will always be more magical than funny, and then certain tricks will always be more funny than magic. So it was, the whole idea then became that the balance will have to come in the overall show instead of the individual pieces.
Effects,
yeah. So if I have 4 things I'm doing in a show, then 2 of them will be comedy heavy and then 2 of them will be magic heavy.
Okay.
So at the end of it, they experience both the things together and nothing is sacrificed.
Okay, so it goes from one to another.
Yeah, one to another. It keeps jumping. So every time they think there is going to be a trick, it never happens. And something funny will happen. Every time they think I'm just joking around, that time we'll hit them with magic.
Right. So it's like they feel comedy and then magic. And then you say magic and then
magic. Exactly what the government is doing with us. I don't want to take names, but because we need this channel running.
Okay. So
हालांकि जेल जाके लोग वायरल होके ज्यादा फेमस जल्दी हो रहे हैं. ऐसा मेहनत करके नहीं हो रहा है आजकल कोई.
रियल जेल और इवन टीवी जेल, यू नो नाउअडेज जो टीवी जेल चल रहा है.
क्या सेगवे था भाई. अरे lovely dude.
So you do a lot of these stand-up shows, right? Stand-up as in you go into stand-up comedians. Stand-up comedians के lineup में you go and you do your magic and comedy. How is the response? What do you think? Is it like comedians always get better laughs, or do you also get?
No, dude. It's surprisingly I do get laughs, and so do the comedians, and everybody is funny that day.
Yeah.
The only add-on is the magic part of it. Yeah. So they put me for the closing act all the time, but it is very difficult then for a comedy audience who's come into thinking कि आज हंसने आए and we've come for stand-up to introduce me, and then for me to get them into that little bit of the magic zone. Right. So what I have to do with stand-up shows is I have to do only one trick in 10 minutes, and the entire 9 minutes or 9.5 minutes just has to be gags and fooling around and goofing around. Or last में 30 seconds में the magic will happen.
Oh.
That is what changes with the stand-up.
So that's the show where you cannot do much of magic, but you do a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
Well, also I think in your life, more different than other magicians is that your family is very supportive.
Very,
right?
yes, absolutely.
Because a lot of times magicians have this story कि your family did not understand कि magic करने वाला है. But I have seen you growing up, your family was always there. I remember the magic competitions you took part in. आधी audience तुम्हारी family
Very
थी,
family, yeah.
right? And every time he used to come on stage, they cheer and they so even in TV shows which you have done, I think last year आपने उसमें किया था हुनरबाज, right? So your mom was on screen with you,
with me, yeah.
right? So do you think that made a big difference in your magic career? Your family being with you.
So my mother and my wife, they are both like magic consultants now. अपना वो Prestige में ना the engineer. So they are that. So basically every time I make a new trick, I have to show it to them, and if they approve it, only then it goes in the show.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is, I'm not even fooling around. That we did it, that in Hunarbaz, every single show I do today, everything new I make today, it goes through both of them. Initially only my mom, of course, when now my wife is also into it.
And your mom has no problem with that.
And my mom has no, there's no problem at all. Don't get me started.
Okay, so आपने TV shows में जो किया, so ये जो reality shows होते हैं, how real are they? Like everything that you do on stage, what is the most challenging part of a reality show, and how do you make sure that when people watch it, they are impressed, at the same time they don't feel कि it's a setup?
Right. So there's reality. A little bit of it is there. I will not say that the whole thing is rigged. No, the whole thing is not rigged. There's a little bit of reality there in the reality show. But the thing is that, so when you're performing, when the roll, camera, action happens, you only have one chance. So there is no retakes.
Oh.
You do it right, you're done. If you don't do it right, you're out. So that is there. That reality is always there in the show. The challenges are that magic is such a different, जैसे even on Hunarbaz, every artist had their own, stage director and everything who knew about the art form. Aerial artist को aerial artist वाला समझा रहा है. Dancers के लिए dance के जो choreographers है वो they are setting up their act. Magic के लिए there was no magic person over there. So Puneet Pathak, who was there, the stage director, so he was choreographing the magic acts also.
Right.
Now he had seen enough magic all these years, तो उनको थोड़ा सब पता था कि क्या है कैसे नहीं है. But the issue is that there is no core magic consultant who can understand the issues.
Right.
जैसा there was एक episode था भारती के साथ where I wanted to do this one thing जिसमें I wanted to use dual reality of some sort, right? So I told them strictly that this is the part I'm going to show her, but you don't show that on the camera.
Correct.
So the trick will be more impactful.
Correct.
They showed it on camera. So that if there was a magic person, he would have understood why I'm saying that.
And you would have had better control over what is shown and what is not shown.
Yeah.
And effect would have been better.
And the effect would have just enhanced more.
So do you think कि because of this, वो जो effect जब TV पे दिखा, it wasn't as impressive as it should have been?
No, so the thing was, मेरा उस time पे concern उस particular effect को लेके ऐसा था कि if it is 100%, if you would not have shown that one part, it would have been 10% better.
Better, okay.
Yeah, it would have crossed that 100% mark.
Correct.
So it was 100, but could have been better.
Right. Wow, that is. So your family never tells you कि यार और कुछ कर लो, सिर्फ magic. Is your magic your full-time income thing?
Absolutely.
And you plan to do this for
life? Until you take my cards out of my dying fingers, yes.
So what do you think is the future of magic? Initially you started doing kids magic or the magic. Then you started doing prop magic, kabutar, dove magic, etc., etc. Now you're into comedy magic, which you think will go a long way. But at the same time, technology is changing. As you see a lot of camera trick videos happening on Instagram and social media, which are amazing. If you've seen Zach King,
Zach King, God, right?
So if you see Zach King, it's like unbelievable. कैसे कर लेते हैं यार ये? And a lot of people believe it's actual magic. Not everyone knows that it's a camera trick.
I didn't know.
Oh,
I thought people understood he's an editor. And
so has this never happened to you कि लोग आपको एक वीडियो पे फॉरवर्ड करते हैं Zach King या ऐसे किसी का और बोलते हैं यार ये कैसे किया? Has that never happened to you?
They forwarded me, but the people who forwarded, they know it is editing. They just found the visuals fascinating.
Okay. No, my experience is a lot of times I've received videos which I know are purely camera tricks.
Okay.
But people send me यार ये कैसे किया?
Zach King में नहीं हुआ है, but other camera trick videos
हुआ है. Okay. So my point is कि अगर if that is what people believe to be true, and as of today a lot of people are disconnected from the real world because they are mostly on their screens. What do you think is future of magic?
I think future of magic is I think we'll all come down back to the live shows at the end of the day. I feel that because I think the social media thing is amazing.
Yeah.
It is good to bring magic in the forefront. Now people are hiring more magicians. People are specifically asking for magicians. The big corporates, the event managers, everybody's asking for mentalists and magicians and stuff. So that way it's come in the forefront. But I think when it comes down to the core entertainment of the audience, that 30-second reel is good enough for 30 seconds while you're scrolling it.
Correct.
But when you are really there to spend money for entertainment, it is still, the show has to still take the front seat. It has to be done properly. So the future is, I think, in both. We need to strike a balance somewhere. I mean, you can't be an Instagram magician only, but at the same time, you can't just be a professional doing it in live shows.
So you do both.
You have to do both.
In terms of where magic stands as an art, you see, जैसे singers है, actors है, dancers है, they all have a certain value.
Right.
Value as in, if we today talk about how much, what is the following of these people, like actors, dancers, singers, following in general on social media, and the money that they are paid.
Right.
In both the terms, I think magic is way down.
Yeah.
Right. If you say कि सिंगर को कितने पैसे मिलते हैं, सिंगर के कितने फॉलोअर्स है, उसके फैंस कितने हैं, एंड मैजिक के कितने हैं, मैजिक इज वे डाउन.
Way down, yeah.
What do you think is the reason, and what do you think can we, and if yes, what could we do to make it?
Because I think we are liars at the end of the day, no? We lie to people for a living.
Right.
And I think...
But so do politicians, right?
So do politicians also, but then I don't know why we are always saying everybody lies. ऐसा देखा जाए.
Lawyers.
Lawyers,
Marketing
politicians, marketing, salesmen.
Sales, exactly.
Yeah. So many people lie all the time, and we lie. I think our lies are separated by the audience in a manner that it is hurting their egos of some sort. I think that the challenging the intellect is something that magic does to people, which is why people are fascinated by it. I mean, you must have had so many experiences where you're sitting somewhere randomly or you're traveling and somebody asks you, what do you do? You say, I do magic. बोले ही होंगे ना लोग कि यार एक ट्रिक दिखाना यार. It is fascinating to people.
और first people laugh and like magic का मतलब क्या है?
हाँ.
What do you mean by magic?
हाँ.
ऐसा भी होता है.
और या फिर बोलो I'm a magician था, हाँ कौन सा instrument बजाते हो? ये I think every
Exactly,
magician
yeah.
because it's hard for people to believe कि ऐसा कोई काम कर सकता है ऐसा. Firstly तो. But I think the reason why people are not, the magic is not getting there is because it is a profession that requires you to lie, and people, I think there's a sense of that challenging the intellect thing that happens, which is where the comedy comes into play. I realized that after starting comedy, because the moment I did that, I could sort of connect with my audience on a better level, and I could make them feel that I'm as normal as you are, just because I can do this. This is my job, like you're doing your job, I'm doing my job. But apart from that, it is all it's not real at all. And I feel sometimes also pseudo explanations with magicians. Now this is like a completely different topic, but I'm going to get into it briefly. So there's two schools of thoughts, right? If somebody had to ask you, you do a lot of mentalism in your show. Somebody had to come and ask you, how did you read my mind? How did you come to know the word I was thinking of?
So my answer usually is I don't really read your mind. I create the illusion of reading mind. So that's what I would always say. I don't want people to believe that anyone can actually read a mind.
Absolutely.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the first school of thought. The second school of thought, it's body language.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think we should stop lying after the show is over.
Correct.
That is my personal opinion.
So it's like watching a movie, right? So you go into theater, you know कि it's all, you don't realize it's fake because you're enjoying the entire movie. You come out and then you start saying, इसका acting सही नहीं था, ये music सही नहीं था, ये background ऐसा था, उसने ऐसा किया, गलत logical नहीं था. But that's all after you come out of the theater. So the magicians should make sure that somehow once they're off stage, they don't lie. Is that what you're saying?
Is my personal opinion. I think we should.
So that you think that would change the perception of magicians as people, where people will start liking magicians as people.
As people first, because that is they have to like you as a person first, no?
But doesn't that sometimes kill the whole grandeur of magic? यार ये तो power है, ये तो. See, like in your comedy, I've seen a lot of times you actually reveal certain props.
Yeah.
Like use a special deck which is
the electric deck.
जिसमें वो thread होता है पूरा और छोड़ देते हो तो पूरा. So you actually use it as a prop for laughs.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sometimes kill a magic act if something similar or even remotely gives an idea कि ऐसा कुछ हुआ होगा? this effect में, doesn't that kill the magic part?
So I think that depends on how you're taking it. As in, the electric deck is something that I don't do a magic trick with. It's like a stunt thing that I do.
Correct.
And then I reveal that it's a...
Not for you, but maybe some other magician who actually uses something like this.
हाँ.
And the same audience, वही audience उनको देखते नहीं बोलते यार ये तो ऐसा ही कुछ लग रहा है. Don't you think in general, like in a wide way, comedy where Tommy Cooper.
Yeah.
Like Tommy Cooper exposed a lot of magic
So
for comedy,
much.
right?
It is
So much of it.
So much.
So if you see Tommy Cooper and then you see a magician doing anything remotely
Close
similar to what he did, ऐसा लगेगा कि यार ये तो ऐसा ही कुछ होगा.
हाँ.
So don't you think collectively, like in a broader sense, if people watch comedy magicians who reveal certain things, if the same audience watches a magician who is actually using certain similar things as a magic effect, it will kill the magic for them because they already believe कि यार ये तो ऐसे ही किया होगा जैसे वो comedian ने किया था.
Right. So in my case, I have been very careful. I've only revealed stuff which I have not seen magicians do for a long time. Like the electric deck. I have not seen anybody using the electric deck apart from comedy magicians to do this. Like
and movies
and movies or actors and stuff. Yeah. So I'm careful like that it does not, because the principles that other magicians are using, I'm also using. So I don't want them to be revealed. So what I do is I pick up things that I know nobody's doing. It's outdated. Nobody wants to do it now. And then that goes up and then that gets revealed. And that little taste of, this is how the trick is done. And then you do the actual trick, where the secret is a little more complicated. So they feel that they saw how the trick is done, and yet sometimes they were fooled.
So on the same lines, if so, you also feel because magic is exposed so much on the internet, like
already.
I think some Asian bande
The two
Japanese or Chinese who actually reveal every effect.
Because of them, I cannot do the vanishing bottle anymore.
See, so you can't, right? Because I don't think, personally, I feel the audience forgets it very quickly.
No, they don't. With the vanishing bottle, they did.
They
I
don't?
had bad experiences, and then I just put it back in the cupboard and like, kabhi nahi kar rahe.
Okay. So now you can use it as comedy in your shows.
Of course.
Like if they have done it, I could do it. So coming back to the same point, magic has been exposed so much. What do you do if an audience member actually has seen the secret and then you do something like that and they shout or they heckle you during the show?
But don't you think that as magic is being exposed, more magic is also created?
Correct, it is.
So many things in magic, like something that we were
So you're talking on the lines
about.
you're talking on the lines of Penn and Teller, where they justify masked magician कि उसने reveal किया इसके लिए आज हमको नया बनाना पड़ता है.
No, I'm saying that it's the magic industry right now, not just in terms of shows and recognizing magicians, but the back side of the magic industry also, where production happens, the tricks are made, the production houses of magic props, they are coming up with so much new stuff that by the time the audience realizes 10 things in magic, the same 10 tricks can be done in better ways, in different ways, where it negates the first explanation. So अपना वो industry भी इतना fast grow हो रहा है अभी, ऐसा I feel. It was something that we were talking about before we started shooting, the thing that I was telling you that I want to get.
Right.
Nobody can imagine what that thing is, dude. Like when I found out what it is, I was like, ये कैसा मतलब ऐसा दिमाग क्या कौन सा माल फूंक के ये कर सकता है, सोच सकता है इंसान कि ऐसा हो सकता है.
Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yes, so, and that we are proving that right now.
So we are using advanced technology in magic. Finally, there are a lot of people who want to get into magic. They want to get into magic. So, what advice would you give these young magicians, youngsters, not just for them to become good, but also for the magic industry to be better? क्या advice दोगे? Because it's not just about them learning or doing magic. It's also about collectively, again, on a broader sense, कि if new magicians come in, they should do this so that magic gets more value than just another art.
Yeah. I think finding your own path is important with magic when you're starting off. It will take time. I took time. I went through so much, and then I finally found out comedy magic is my thing. It's going to be my forte. So I think people right now today, people are just looking at mentalists and मेरे को भी mentalism करने का. And then we have so many mentalists, which is fine. But at the end of the day, then it just becomes saturated for even an audience. Everybody is a mentalist. There is nothing different, right? Even stand-up comedians face that problem. So stand-up comedians have to come up with characters. They have deadpan characters. Some people are doing stories. Some people stick to one-liners. They are changing that much in stand-up comedy. Magic mein to we already have categories made. So nobody's picking those categories up and thinking that this is better for me. This will suit me better. I think it's important to find that.
So what do you think are these like in magic, from whatever study you have done, what do you think are the different kinds that people can actually go for other than comedy magic or mentalism?
Just close up, people can go for close up, people can go for stage, proper stage nobody is doing right now. If you can create an experience of that sort, doing like proper stage manipulations, you can do that. Darcy Oak got so famous doing dove magic.
Yes.
The number of people who sent me the video of dove, and the same people who said Kabutar tum log jacket mein chupate ho, sent me the video and asked me isne kidhar chupaya hai.
Correct.
Why? Because the guy was not wearing a tailcoat anymore. He was wearing a leather jacket, something that everybody wears.
Right.
Just the change of attire took dove magic, something so classic that people are kabutar nikalta hai, took it to the next level because of the change of the whole image of the magician.
Correct.
So I think even stage magic can become popular if you do it right.
So stage magic as in without comedy. I mean, not necessarily having comedy in it.
Or no speaking of some any.
No pantomime.
No
as in
pantomime.
only on music.
Only on music.
Like
Even that.
I think a lot of birthday party musicians already do that, right?
They do that, but I'm talking about you can take it to the Darcy Oak level if you want.
To the next level.
Yeah, next level.
So do you think, it is my belief that magic in India is not as big as magic in developed countries or Western countries, जैसे UK, US में जाते हो. There are two reasons. One is because here not everybody is a magician. I'll tell you, everybody as in वहाँ पे if you watch movies or if you watch TV series in US UK, you always see this grandpa taking out a coin from the ear.
Right.
Like, it's like a usual thing for everyone.
For everyone, yeah.
So it's like there's always a grandpa in the house who does some magic or an uncle or something there. In India, it's not the case. India, not everybody is a magician. As in, everybody is a singer, everybody is a dancer, everybody is a bathroom singer, everyone is a wedding dancer, I would say. Bathroom dancer too, but everybody is not a magician. Everybody is a musician. They keep banging their tables and stuff. That is one reason. The second is, as kids, the magic we have seen is mostly not that impressive.
Yeah.
And even today, the magicians that are performing for birthday parties, most of them, they are not very good magicians, I would say, or not very good performers. Would you agree to that?
I have not seen enough birthday party magicians to, but I think that for the target audience, they do their job, and because their target audience is children majorly, I think adults will not be entertained with it. They will always because
of course not adults. Yeah.
The whole prop with the table and the box comes out and everything.
I'm saying, are they entertaining the kids enough that the kids want to become magicians when they grow up? That's actually the question.
Yeah, no. Because now a child has an iPad in his hand, he can access the world. So if you're pulling out candies out of box, I don't think it's going to make sense to the child also.
So would you agree to the fact that if kids magicians also became way better than what they are today in India, it would actually help the general industry of magic, because kids growing up would want to appreciate or become magicians or would want to hire good magicians in future?
I think every one of us needs to do that, become a little better, because नहीं अपना उतना scene जैसा होना चाहिए वैसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. When I see Penn and Teller, you mentioned earlier, when you see Penn and Teller, there is art in their magic. We are missing that. Every one of us, not just children party magicians. Even I feel my show is still missing that artsy side of it that it should have. It's got the basic stuff. People are entertained. They freak out at the end of the day. You get that reaction. I get it. Other people get it. But the whole idea of magic, what do you believe in when it comes to magic? What is magic for you? How do you interpret it? That we are not able to put forward still. We still are doing this trick, this trick, this trick put together. This will look nice. We're still doing that. On the other hand, other countries, they are actually paying attention to why a move is being done. The number of times I have seen close-up magicians also screw up moves is not even funny. Like, it's a simple principle of do the move at the offbeat moment.
Correct.
It's still not understood by so many professionals today here. I think we all need to become a little better.
So who's your favorite magician?
Here or outside?
Anywhere, like
Penn and Teller I love. I love Penn and
and
Teller.
Teller.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anybody better, and there will be anybody better after them.
Not Copperfield. Or
Copperfield is nice, but Penn and Teller I like more because I think our ideology matches. No, they also don't want to lie after the show is over. They don't want to lie during the show also,
actually,
which I can't do. This is too difficult to do.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like the ideology of not lying to people all the time and being very open about these are tricks.
So art for you in magic is being true to yourself and the audience.
Yeah.
And making sure that they don't have wrong ideas.
No, absolutely.
After they leave from your show, they just get entertained, have fun, laugh, and
enjoy,
go home without having any ideas about supernatural or anything. Okay, so that's Karan Chauhan for you. Look him up. He's very active on Instagram.
I have to be.
Yes, and a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yes.
And TV, millions of views from the TV shows.
I guess. I've not checked. But yeah, there will be.
So thank you, Karan. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for doing this.
For being
for
so
the magic
honest
industry.
and true with us.
Mangesh, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow Mangesh everywhere. Stalk him if you want. It's fine. He likes it.
Right. आप कुछ दिखाओगे magic?
Yes. Firstly, these are not my cards. ये मंगेश के cards हैं सारे, and they are all different. Yes.
Yes.
You can shuffle these for me, please.
Okay.
Fantastic. Now, Mangesh, choose any card you like, and I will tell you what it is. King of Diamonds, magic show. Thank me later. No, I'm kidding. But do you want to go with the King of Diamonds, or do you want to change it?
King of Diamonds.
You want to go with the King?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also going to take out the two jokers.
Okay.
Which will be there somewhere. Yes, yeah, there is one and there is two. Okay, we'll come back to these later. First, we'll start off with the King of Diamonds. Now, you want the same card, you don't want to change it, you said.
No,
yeah?
I don't want to change.
Okay. You are going to push this card inside yourself, okay? So, King of Diamonds,
Yeah.
you're going to push it inside anywhere you like.
Okay.
Yeah, take the pack.
Yeah.
And I want you to shuffle it as much as you like. Shuffle it up. We'll also use the jokers in a second. You can shuffle the entire deck if you want.
Okay.
Together. Lovely.
Okay, shuffled.
Shuffled, lovely. And you're going to sandwich the deck like this in your hands. Fantastic. Now we have the two jokers here from your deck. You chose the King of Diamonds, right?
Yes.
It's in your hand somewhere in the middle. Now watch. If I just go like this, one card jumps between the jokers, and your card was the King of Diamonds. Yes, the King of Diamonds.
Wow.
Magic show, yeah.